All right, guys, we are back. Map number 2, live into the pistol round. AffNity picking up that first map, and now they're on the CT side. And a little bit of historical information. Last time these teams faced off on Mirage, Backfire was on the T side, and they were able to take pistol round in those 2 rounds thereafter. So they're able to make it happen again. That's a lot of momentum for him, but already Jason R, we saw what he could do with Dust 2. And how does he play now? He's able to take down 1. He's down to 2 HP, but this is enough to actually at least slow down this push.
This fake.
They're just going for it, and yeah, that's actually a really nice play. Jason R gets caught off guard as they jump down into sight. Fox is forced to fall off a cat, and they're going to have a quick rotate into Market, and Fruit will go down as he attempts to take down Buzz Up. Very lit, though, are the CTs. They have themselves in a 2v2 now. Toy is going to come up big as he gets 4 frags in the round. That is a big pistol round win for Backfire.
Yeah, I can't say enough about that fake. Jason R says he was upset about it. He said he heard them or something. But if he heard them, he obviously would have called that to his teammates. But they got stuffed early at B when Jason R got that frag. So usually when that happens, that prompts the remaining terrorists to either, try to just rush through to their deaths through smoke and likely a molly. And Backfire fakes that they were falling back to under the window, which is the usual play, to try to split it after it goes wrong in the B site. But instead, they just wait there, and then they do a second wave back to B.
God.
And it really works out with them. But FGB on to Demise. So AffNity, they do that scout still for David. He's going for that jump peek at B, but he's not going to see anybody. In AffNity, they send 1 player B, and the remainder come down the ramp, and eventually they do take 1 down, but still significant firepower advantage here for Backfire again on their anti-eco. Davey, though, with that scout. Now AffNity has the advantage one more time, and Backfire is going to go ahead and try their luck back at the A bomb site. Let's see where Davey's playing with that scout, though. He is a very crucial player to how this is going to pan out in AffNity. I really think they should be stacking towards the A bomb site here because Davey has control of B. And they can have 1 player playing connector if they want to, spotting the catwalk and everything. But instead, they're going to play it a little soft towards A. I really like them seeing the 3-1 here with that scout. But here comes Backfire taking into the A bomb site. Only 1 player down. Still have their work cut out for them. Jason R with that pistol gets another one. Has Fox trying to as well. And now it's all up to double. He can't do it. And AffNity right back at him. Backfire's map choice, but AffNity had something to say on their eco round.
Yeah, wow, and like I was saying, Backfire was able to pick up those first 3 rounds, and that was pretty critical for them to basically end the half of that map in an 8-7 fashion. So they got a lot of early rounds. So AffNity, though, they're gonna stuff this early on, and just some huge picks. Demise gets dropped by a 5-7 shot. It was literally long distance, like a pixel. You could see his head, and he just 2-taps him. And then we see Davey go huge from Cat towards bench. So Jason R now, he's taking the... Are you joking me right now? Are you joking me right now? Jason R is a god. He's gonna get so much damage done to these players. What are we watching? Jason R, why do you even don't even put 2 players on one site? Jason R, he can hold 1. The rest of the team just go on the other one because Jason R is hitting every shot right now.
Right, he's like the
that
Lee
shot
Sin of Counter-Strike, man.
Like,
jeez. It was like through the wall, and it wasn't a headshot. He still got him with that jump, little crack pistol, or pixel, I should say, peek of Jason R, and he's still hanging on to that scout. No reason not to at this point.
Like, I don't even...
Yeah. Stone silenced the Sprawl, and this Sprawl can talk. If you silence Sprawl, you're doing something right.
Exactly.
Now Backfire. They do have a couple Tech 9s. Every one of them's got a pistol. None of them's got anything but, though. Has only no nades or anything, no armor. So they're just going to try to take the heads off of AffNity without much tact behind it. Just going to try to outgun them. Still trying to go for this mid peak with the Deagless Fruit. He ain't seeing anybody. And AffNity has a good setup here. Fairly traditional in 2-1-2. They do have 1 pushed up the catwalk, so this player likely going to see one very shortly. Depending on how this goes at middle here, this could be a tough round for AffNity, and indeed it is going to be because Toy takes down 2 of them. The trades go their way, but AffNity still has a firm hold on this CT spawn. If Backfire is going to plant, they're going to have to try to plant for the catwalk. But the catwalk player is taken down. Still, the firing squad from CT spawn is just letting it rip. and Backfire still struggling. And those two CT spawn players just were there the entire round, just shooting away. And in the end, it is going to secure them that round. 3-1 now for AffNity, and Backfire should have been the ones looking at that 3-0 scoreline, but instead, they are the ones who, again, have to try to battle for that momentum.
Yeah, and so much money still. Look at Davey. Because they won that second round on, it wasn't exactly an eco like they had armor and pistols and such, but they were able to get guns there, 3 of them. And that just means that they don't have to buy in the next round, and it's a beautiful spot for their economy. So now they are keeping some bank alive. We got 6K still on Davey, and Jason R is still playing at Van. He has switched up the weapon. Buzza now with an AWP, so he's going to be the holder of Big Green here. And a nice nade. Toy goes down, and that's a big pick-off. Double, though, will go down to Buzza. Or, sorry, other way around. Double gets Buzza in window room, so picks going both ways. Now mid-control completely in the T's favor. They've got one lurking up connector, and we see no players from Catwalk to kind of stop this pressure, and that's going to allow Imsta to drop a player inside of sight. FGB goes down, but Davey, he's going to fire back. He's dropped down to 15 HP. The play is towards the A site. The bomb eventually coming through T-spawn, but Davey's still in A ramp. I'm sure they know his location as they're slowly walking up on him here, and he gets the shot in, though, and he's got the opportunity to stop the bomb carrier as well, but does he check backwards is the question, and I don't think he will. Goes down. It's all up to Jason R, and who else would you want here?
Exactly.
He goes down.
Unfortunately, he's not the man for the job this time. Wasn't random enough for him. We got to put him with the scout.
Yeah.
Has to jump peek 2 dudes or something like that. Yeah, that round was interesting. It's like they're playing shoots and ladders or something. Everybody was getting flanked. There was never 2 rounds or 2 frags consecutively for either team until the very end, when Backfire eventually got it. But now AffNity without an AWP, and that begs the question, how do you play middle without it? So they're going to go ahead and aggress into the lower, and Backfire, not sure if they had the read or what, but they brought numbers with the mid. Oh, Toy onto Fox. He was the only player playing mid. That's what makes it so difficult when you don't have an op at middle. You don't have any early information about if any teams are just stampeding down the catwalk. And this time Backfire caught AffNity a little off guard, but still even now as Davey finds that frag in tunnels. If he can take down Demise as well, and he does, Davey with that Colt from the tunnels. He takes the bomb as well. So those 2 frags, pretty substantial, but now that he has that bomb with him, it makes it so difficult for Backfire to come back from, because they're going to have to try to find the players of AffNity that are lurking towards the bomb. Unfortunately for them, none of them are really coming through CT. They're already in the bomb site. Imsta's trying to flank, but this is definitely doable. AffNity, 2 of their members under 12 HP. And Imsta with this flank. If the CTs aren't careful, there it is. FGB gets caught, but where's Davey? He's still lurking with that bomb, and now AffNity can set up here inside the tunnels, and it's going to come down to the trades. How does AffNity play this? Are they going to go up into the room? Oh, they still had a smoke. This is so pivotal now. This is going to allow them to play this way differently. And Jason are on the other side of the smoke. Wow, he actually gets killed through it. So now down to a 1 versus 1. And Davey, through that smoke, that one $300 nade in the end secured them the victory. And that just shows that hanging on to your smokes until the bitter end sometimes can just win you the round flat out.
Yeah, that smoke grenade definitely made that next to impossible for them to... There was no time for them to rotate. That was a perfect timing, too. I think there was about 30 seconds maybe left, so dropping that smoke left them no time for any other options. They just had to force the issue, and they go down because of it. So Eco here from Backfire. AffNity, they pick up that round, and it was a bit of a crucial one as their economy had kind of been dropped, and you can see once again, being that it was only Davey left alive, their economy is pretty much non-existent if they lose this round, but... being that we see, FGB, he's going to get tested. He's underneath the balk. They eventually take him down, but Davey comes in, and he will be able to get 1 here. He gets a second. Toy is going to be the last one on the field, and he gets dropped. So FGB, the only one going down. So that's definitely how AffNity wanted that round to go, as now their economy can get back into kind of stable shape here. They want to build enough that if they lose a round, they'll be able to come back with the next and have good equipment as well.
And Backfire had been doing a relatively decent job in the map prior, taking down a bunch of people on their eco rounds. Of course, it didn't really come into effect until way later because they just kept losing the rounds until 11-1. But look at this, Backfire switching the tempo up a bit now. They're going to go for a straight-up A take, but the early aggression from AffNity, if they continue this, they're just going to keep gaining information. Fortunately for Backfire, they're playing pretty silent here over at A. If they walk or run at all, this mid player is going to hear it. And now AffNity, time to make a decision. Do you flank hard or do you try to hold the bomb site out of position? And it looks like they're going to try to hold it out of position. They have nobody under balcony. AffNity is going to have 3 players coming from the connector area, and now they're making their way into the site. It's going to be Fruit, opens up the site trade quickly, and AffNity is beginning to hold frags. But now on a 2-on-3, both players of Backfire go down, and AffNity solid hold. And they did suffer the first pick, but in the end, AffNity found their way around the smokes, and Backfire's A take. Now that has been shut down pretty substantially, how does that kind of eliminates one of your strategies? Because if AffNity can do that to them on their A take with full nades and everything, that was a full buy. Makes it really difficult if you want to go back to that, because usually it's a lot of teams go to, you know. So
yeah, certainly. And I feel like that's why usually you see a team that takes A like that, they'll have at least one player out mid, just in case. So the CT side can't do what they did there, and Davey actually pushes up. We'll take down Demise. This is an eco round, obviously, for the T side. But again, early on, if you're going to take that slow A play, if AffNity finds out, and they certainly did, that just leaves you in a really rough spot. Davey was able to flank around all the way to A ramp. The rest of the players, like you said, kind of defended out of position, but they were able to make it work. I believe it was FGB that was able to make it up onto Ticket Booth, and he got a spray that started on someone on balcony, and he finished off one of the players inside a site. So some nice spray control from the M4A1S on him. But we do see 2 players left up in this eco round for Backfire, and they haven't found a single frag here. So again, these kinds of rounds, dangerous as Backfire, of course, they're not really, obviously they would like to win it, but at the very least, they need to take some rifles out of the round, or out of the CT's hands, just so that economy just doesn't get out of control. But you can see here, Buzza with 9,200, Jason R 8,400, 6,800 on Davey. They're sitting in a good spot, and Backfire, they're going to be buying out here once again. Full nades across the board, full AKs. And what do they take, though? What is the strategy here?
yeah, a lot of the comebacks come from just or surmountable comebacks, I should say, are based upon the economy of the other team. If you could take 2 rounds in a row and force them to save, that's when you could see comebacks start to happen. But if the economy gets too out of control for AffNity, we're going to see a massive lead from AffNity yet again. In this round, Backfire goes down a player early, that's Demise. And they're trying to take up in the connector, but AffNity not allowing anything. Fruit does take down FGB, though. And still AffNity, they have 1 player middle. He's on the other side of the smoke, and if they're not careful... Ooh, Davey shoots at nothing. I'm not sure what he saw there, but now his position has been revealed. Backfire has to take this kill quickly. If Davey gets any support or anything, he might be able to make his way out of here. But if they could take this, it'll be 4-on-3. But they're devoting a lot of time and resources to Davey right now. Nobody from AffNity is really moving anywhere. Finally, Davey does go down, but it's down to 45 seconds now. So Backfire, I'm not sure if Davey spotted the bomb or what, but if he did, it's going to kind of make it easy for AffNity to know exactly where Backfire is going to be heading. And it looks like it is going to be up towards Catwalk. So 30 seconds remaining. It's going to be up to Jason R. And oh my, is he the man to do it? Takes out the first one. He's only got 1 more to deal with. There it is. Second shot this round so far from Jason R. And they're going to continue to try to press him. Not going to happen. Jason R. is straight on form right now.
I think that was like 4 bullets and 2 headshots. Like, that was honestly ridiculous. From long range, he's playing at bench and just tears the head off of both those players moving up Cat.
Yeah, just
that
like
was
one of the Backfire guys say, so good.
Yeah, just so good. So, AffNity, they are working some aggressive plays, though. We saw Buzza, he pushed up all the way into Palace and got that first frag onto Demise. Demise was slowly, it was kind of a delayed position for him to head up into Palace, and you have to assume that maybe they could have a presence there, but you don't really expect to have an op just hanging out around the corner is when you peek, so he gets dropped, and then, yeah, we saw that they did have an opportunity, but Jason R., they didn't really have the opportunity because he stole it away from them. So, now we got mid control once again, and it's not that Backfire really has had any troubles even getting mid control. They've been able to get that, but they're just not able to make anything of it. And now boosting up into window room, we're going to see 1 player entering the smoke. That's going to be Toy, but Buzza drops 1 player as they try and move up connector. So although they smoke off the window, we've seen a lot of good holds from Cat and Connector. there's been some picks from Backfire, but they'll get the pickup connector, and they're not, again, able to do anything for it. So Fox now getting aggressive. He's going to spot out Imsta inside a connector. Davey gets one onto double as well, and he drops the bomb carrier again. Davey just has, like, a metal detector, only it's the bomb detector, and he just finds it, and he kills that player, and then the round kind of falls apart. So they will have one on the flank, but Davey's going to spot him out as well. I believe Demise was clomping around, though. He was running through T-spawn. So FGB finishes the round, but another round where only one player goes down. Buzza is almost on. Okay, he has to buy, obviously, but he was very close to capping out there.
Yeah, that money game out of control now, and AffNity again taking a massive lead early in Backfire. If they're going to make this anything like the last time these two teams met up, they got to start putting some rounds on the board right away, and AffNity going for a very early aggression towards A inside of the apartments here. Backfire, depending on how soon AffNity starts taking up here, could be in a lot of danger. It doesn't look like going to get too aggressive, and it is going to be Catwalk Fox has the opportunity. His time to shine. He does take down the first two. They continue to press him. He gets the third before double. Gets his 6th kill of the match. Trades him out, but terrible trade for Backfire there. And now only 2 players remaining, but Toy comes out of the apartments. His teammate falls in the meantime, though, and now down to a 1 versus 2. A lot of real estate to be taken here. Where's the CT going to play? First order for Toy is to take out this CT player. He does have the AWP, and the CT player is shooting a bunch of bullets while his teammate's flanking. So Buzza, I like what they're doing there. Buzza's saying, I can distract him, I'm going to shoot a couple of bullets, then you hit your flank, because he's obviously got to worry about me coming in from the kitchen. Nice teamwork by AffNity and Backfire. They're back to their forcing ways. we lost all these gun rounds, we might as well just force out.
Yeah, they realize that the kind of traditional, what you would like on that T side is you kind of want 5 rounds or so. That's kind of what you're hunting for. And with 2 on the board, 13th round, they need to make something happen. So they can't really afford to save here once again. They're just going to go for an A play, and they just go right through the smoke. So a bit of a dry play where they don't really let go of their presence right away. But here they get dropped, and it's going to be all AffNity. Demise, the last one alive from Palace, and he goes down as well. So they try and just force their way up ramp, and sometimes you can catch a team off guard because they expect all of these smokes and flashes raining in before you drop in, but it just didn't work. It just didn't work. AffNity, they're on the ball, and they drop every single player. And again, it's no longer about economy, but you can tell that that's how dominant things have been, that they've got so much money there. Backfire, though, they've got 2 rounds to try and make this 11-4, and that's kind of salvageable if they go really, really hard on the CT side, but definitely being down a map and forcing yourself into that, well, not forcing yourself into this situation, but being in that spot is going to be rough. So Davey tears off the head of Toy, and already a first pick here for the CT side.
Yeah, and based upon what I saw in the spawn of Backfire, I mean, one of their players tried to give the bomb to his teammate twice while he went to the other site, so Backfire pretty broken right now. I guess in terms of their calling or coordination would be a better word for it. And now another goes down. That's Fox. Finds Fruit traded by Imsta. Lucky to be in the right position as he was just rotating. And now where do Backfire try to take? I mean, if you go A is being held quite well. If you go B, you got to contest Jason R. Either way, he's going to come for you. And now they get one onto the A-bomb site, still trying to press in. There's only one there. They got to watch out for that cap flank. It's FGB. And then with the task of holding the A-bomb site, okay, there it is. Double takes down Davey, one of the rotators, but Jason R is still up, and he is going to begin to rotate. Oh, that's a new spam, I don't know. FGB onto Imsta, though, down to a 2-on-2. Imsta, or Demise is very low, excuse me, for the setup for Backfire. Very nice. They got one in the jungle and one at the ramp. Double all, pouring in some flashes from the jungle area. Double, I'm not sure if he only has a Tech 9 or what. Where's that bomb planted? They're sticking it right now. Demise, he has to peek out of spawn right now. I don't think he knows that he's sticking it.
Wow.
Oh, man. Call the cops. He robbed him that round. But again, AffNity doesn't even really need it at this point. 12-2 and Backfire. If their mental game wasn't broken there, like, the only way that could have worked is if the seats or if the ramp player didn't get the kill or didn't peek, and he didn't peek, and the other guy didn't even have to cover him. I don't know if the guy lagged out or what. That's the only play in that situation is the ramp player has to peek.
Yeah, and I think he had 2 HP. I think that's why he didn't want to peek at all, but still, you got to make it happen. Davey tries to get aggressive up mid once again, and he's had a lot of success with this, but finally, they shut him down, and Fox working the edge of the smoke, and oh, he's going to get dropped by Fruit as he just misses the start of that spray. A little bit of burst onto Fruit, but not enough. So now, working up Connector here, double with an op in hand. And he is going to be the one peeking first, so he will get that shot onto Buzza. So his barrel sticking out, gets him through the wall, and this could be the third round as Double has eyes on Jason. FGB, though, will get 2 for himself. Jason goes down, and they're going to be planting it here for Cat, and he gets the spray through the box. That's a beautiful wall, or wall bang, rather, as that's a beautiful wall. Toy coming up from Connector. Toy coming up from Connector, and Double coming from CT spawn. So getting pinched a little bit here, and oh, I think FGB, he probably could have seen Toy, but that fire is a little bit, it's difficult to see through that sometimes, so it didn't exactly spot him out, and he does have a little bit of, spidey senses tingling. He thinks someone's coming towards CT, and he does, so now it's down to Toy, and he peeks out FGB! What a shot! An ace in the final round, 13-2! What an individual play! He gets 2 frags early, gets that spam through the box, drops the bomb carrier, and then wins the 1v2. We've just seen such crazy plays from the AffNity players here. They take this map in convincing fashion. They deserve this best of 3.
Right, Jason R needs to go buy a lottery ticket. I mean, and FGB needs to get into some psychic readings or something, because the guy's definitely got a third eye.
Yeah.
So, tons of stuff from the AffNity side here that you almost kind of feel bad for Backfire, because what do you do against some of these things? A lot of the plays that Jason R has made. So, okay, the one on Dust 2 was very avoidable, but very avoidable. But a lot of his scout shots and everything, really, that's you got to just kind of battle him. And if Jason R is hitting shots like that, there's not much you can do. And FGB, individual effort,
that was
right
nuts.
there. I mean, they're already up 12-2, so he didn't have to go that ham. You know, they could have just said, all right, let's finish this next half. But he says, no, I'm going for the highlight reel. And two of the shots really stood out for me. That last one, and then as the guy was, and he spammed the one into sight, just those first 2 in sight were really nice as well. But Backfire again. At least this time they're on the CT side. So you get it makes it a little easier. I would say to have consistency in your comebacks is on the CT side rather than the terrorist side. Because obviously so many things can go wrong when you're entering a bomb site. You don't look at one angle or something, and then your whole team dies. But on the CT side, it's a little easier because you can kind of get a feel for what the terrorists are doing early and play accordingly. And you are the ones that can choose whether or not to aggress. You don't have to. Of course, it definitely helps a lot of the time. But now, Backfire on the verge of entering that shark-infested lower bracket. And not even out of best-of-1 stages yet down there. So Backfire need to avoid that. And now it's all going to come up, or come down to this round, I should say. And Backfire, look at this. They're choosing the wrong bomb site. Things cannot be going any worse for them.
Yeah, they're going to push all the way through. And luckily for them, the execute hasn't happened yet. So they actually have time to get one player back up through Connector to help out. But these smokes are going to rain through. And Fruit is now rendered useless. Demise all alone, and he gets gushed right from the get-go. Down to 28 HP, and he peeks out. He will get Davies, so that was a nice shot. But a 4v4 here as we see Double just handily take down one. Double getting another one here. So holding as Jason R and Buzza, they have the bomb planted. Jason R gets one. Buzza with one. It's now a 1v2 where you can get this frag onto Double coming around the corner. And he does. It's up to Imsta, and he gets the shot. Imsta with the headshot, and he will be able to close the round. So Backfire, they'll live to see some more rounds here. They pick up the pistol round, and that's important for their comeback if they want to make that happen, and I'm sure they do. And I think as we move forward in this half, if Backfire can get some rounds together, I feel like we're going to see just their coordination kind of tighten up again, as it definitely kind of fell apart there at the end of the T-half.
See, I don't know if I like this P90 buy from Imsta, because
oh man,
Imsta got, I mean, he could have a massive round here, but the fact that AffNity got the bomb down means that they are going to be likely buying up full AKs next time. And P90, not the best against an AK, but again, it has a chance to get any guns. But here comes the P90 spray down. As I was saying that, making me eat my words, and he makes a substantial amount of money. with that P90. So now he can colt up if he wants to. Miles ahead the rest of his team, or miles ahead on the rest of his team in money. But now he's going to have to go against the AKs. Or is AffNity going to save up for ops? No, they're going AKs.
Yeah, so that's going to be a rough look for him. And 3 FAMAS on the board as well. AffNity could crush the hopes and dreams of Backfire right here. As you can see, economically speaking, they do not have the money to repurchase once again if they drop this round. So I imagine we'll see a force nonetheless, but it's not going to be optimal, that's for sure. And we're going to see Davey on the lurk, and this is one thing that most of the times we saw the A play for Backfire on this site, they would have all 5 here, and then they would leave all this opportunity for the push-ups, the information-gathering players. And Davey, though, he's on the lurk, and although he's not actually in that optimal position, he will be able to peek out and actually gets Toy as he checks there. And now it's going to be this A side execute. They're coming into site, 4 of them. They've smoked off CT, jungle, and stairs. Fruit trying to peek through the edge of the smoke, but isn't able to find anything. So they do need to get this bomb planted before that smoke subsides. And luckily for them, Demise isn't able to get anything done from CT spawn. That's Buzza taking him down. So a 5v3 here, and Imsta is one of the ones alive with that Pro 90. He's going to be trying to land some shots, and he actually gets Jason R, so he'll be able to get one. Fruit with one as well, so it's a 2v3 here, but Fruit, last one alive. He is going to be able to collect an AK-47 for himself, and he wants to retake, as obviously they do not want to drop this round, but getting that final frag here and that bomb tick away, realizes he's out of time. So that round is going to go to AffNity. Backfire, they've dropped a round that they oh so desperately needed if they wanted to make... Oh, and Fruit goes down as well. Oh, their hearts just sink as... Again, that round is one they desperately needed, and that save was kind of like a little bit of silver lining, and they just tear that away from them.
Right? I mean, Backfire is... They're going to need a lot of silver lining after this match. I mean, you're going to have to look at the world in a different light for just a few moments, but Backfire now on the heels, exiting this match. This is their last chance, in my eyes, as they did force up. Don't see a lot of nades. Only 4 total from Backfire. They did have enough to smoke off B at least. And look at this aggression from Backfire at ramp. I like this because they don't have as many nades. They can't really hold off an A take like they would have been able to. So they are going to go ahead and try to aggress. The bomb is at the bottom of ramp. So this CT player here could make things happen for his team. That's Fruit gets one. Okay, Backfire. 3 frags to 1. Fox, only man to get a frag so far. And he comes up catwalk. Leaves a whole lot of lead in the behind. And now still only 2 players for AffNity. Fox falls. And so does Davey. So, Backfire. Force works out for them. They only lose 1 player, so that's good. Somebody's going to be able to drop him. And now AffNity only need 2 rounds, but they're going to have to save this one.
Yeah, and they're just going to want to take some of those weapons away from the CT side. Again, their objective here is they want to win the match, obviously, on that AffNity side, but they only need 2 rounds. So, although this round they would like to win, obviously, teams want to win every round, so that's pretty blatantly obvious. But they do want to, at the very least, strip some of these weapons away. So they're going to be funneling out of Palace here, but doesn't look like they're going to be able to get anything done as they are completely demolished by the CT side. So that is what Backfire certainly needed. They're able to keep all their weapons on the field, and that means that we see about 6,000 on Toy, 6,000 or so on Fruit as well. So it is starting to grow in their respect, and we actually see another eco round here from AffNity. They're opting to yeah, again, just save up a little bit more. They probably could have squeaked out a buy there, but not an optimal one like they're looking for. I think they want an AWP on the field or something to that effect, or just nades in general with those AKs, as would be a bit of a squeak out buy.
Yeah, you see a lot of teams make that kind of mistake. Hold that thought. Wait a minute. Here comes AffNity. They're looking to end it right here now. It was supposed to be a quarterback sneak into the bomb site, and they rotated him all the way back from over towards B, but now Backfire stabilizing in their hold. Buzza with that Tech 9 brings it back, though, down to 3-on-3. The bomb is still yet to show himself outside of A. Backfire hasn't seen the bomb yet, so they're not quite sure, but I guess they think it's A because everybody has rotated from Backfire towards this A bomb site, and now we've kind of slowed things down a little bit. Mid still being pried at by AffNity, and now they think they have to rotate one back to B. And now the bomb is going to show himself. Did they see the bomb inside of A? No, I'm not sure Imsta even knows. They're looking for him, but the bomb, has he made it into the site? Not just yet. It's going to be up to Buzza. He's got to make something happen for his teammate, who's kind of stranded right now. But stranded doesn't mean that you're helpless. He does take out Imsta. 1-on-2 now. The CT player ignores the bomb plant. Nice move by Demise. And now Fox running out of time here. He's got to pick his poison. Double all or Demise. And he tries to go for Demise, but double all is there for the cross pick. And now AffNity, the long-awaited first or bye round, not first one by any means, but now I'll finish that thought from earlier. We see so many times teams when they have a massive lead like this, and a lot of the top tier teams, even in Europe, they'll try to force up and end it early without having like their full nade set or full gun set if one of them wants to op or something. So I'm glad to see AffNity waited this long.
Yeah, me as well, and looks like they're going to be going for an A-side execute. Davey once again on the lurk, and again, that's a heads-up play to have someone in this position. So they haven't actually put someone up in a palace. That's because they're exchanging some weaponry here. Buzza will be... Yeah, they're just going to swap that up. So Buzza...
Right through that wall.
Yeah, exactly, right? Walls, guns, they could... Yeah, we're just not going to talk about that.
It's probably Jason R that threw it through the wall.
It definitely. It must have been. So they are pushed up mid is double. So he gets some information, but... doesn't realize that Davey is posted up there. Luckily for him, though, he doesn't actually continue moving forward because it would have been him most likely going down to Davey in that little corner. So here comes the A execute, though. They made it onto A ramp, and FGB drops fruit. So one of the players goes down. Doubles had a 2K for himself, but they still have one alive in sight. Make it now Imsta coming up from the rotate on stairs. So Fox gets the frag, though. He drops down, and Fox gets it. And that is a play that Backfire had to take.
Oh, you hate to see this happen.
It's cringeworthy. That is absolutely cringeworthy.
I mean, he wasn't even looking at him.
No, he wasn't. And he drops like that through the smoke and just... Oh, man. Oh, man.
Everybody on your team... Like, I've been on both ends of that. And everybody on your team just sighs.
Yeah.
Come on. That was all we needed was for you to shoot that one guy in the back. And we would have been still in this. But instead, they're looking at... defeat. Otherwise, they need perfection if they want to walk away from this map. And perfection even into overtime, because now Backfire, that's what they're fighting for. AffNity on the brink of moving on to, I forget who they play next, but this is the best, or the round of 4 in the upper bracket.
Ignite is...
yes, we've said that like 3 times. Man, my memory's not good tonight, but AffNity...
It's all good.
Take the first one. That's Davey. Takes down Fruit, and AffNity again is going to try this A-bomb site. They've been having success. Why not keep it up? Big nade from Backfire, though. They have the HP advantage, but not numbers. Double with another double through the smoke. This man is finding some goofy angles that AffNity, even though they won the round last time, that happened to him again. Double all through that smoke. They don't seem to matter. I'm not sure if he has the timings or the sound down or what, but this guy is doing it. And now down to a 2-on-3. Davey and Jason are good post-plant positions here, but still 3 up for Backfire. Nobody coming from CT spawn, though. Demise takes that frag, and now it's up to Davey. Not going to happen. And now Backfire takes their 8th round, and AffNity still only 1 round to put it away. They did get the bomb down, so they're going to have a decent amount of money, but I fully expect them to save at least 1 more time to get a full buy-in.
Double did 219 damage with nades as well. Oh my god. Double was the MVP of that round, undoubtedly, as he got 2 through the smoke in 1 shot. And then, yeah, that was some nutty play there. And I feel like there was a little bit of miscommunication from AffNity when after the bomb was planted, because Davey came up A ramp. And I don't know if you spotted it, but Jason R actually flicked over and one-tapped in that direction, like as he saw Davey. So they didn't fully communicate that he was covering from A ramp and that he could maybe just wait a little bit longer and kind of hold that crossfire. But nonetheless, AffNity, they're on match point here. They are going to be saving this round, but they just can't get too comfortable. Like we were saying, that is one of those self-inflicted enemies that some teams, they just fall into that, oh, well, we got this. Like, don't worry about it, guys. But the game's not over till it's over. So you got to keep up the pressure. We're going to see some aggression here from the CT side, and Imsta actually wanting to push up onto the side of the smoke, but carefully goes back, and as we can see, that is a smart decision, because he was going to have his head taken off, as Demise will be able to get 1 at B, and he will get 2, so this fake works way better if they get any frags over there, but doesn't matter as Jason R takes down Imsta. FGB now with an AK in his hand, and he will get dropped by Toy playing from Arches. And the bomb's been planted, so one frag and a bomb plant already. This is a decent spot here for the T side, and Demise will take down Jason R. Davey, last one alive, and they actually could have made that even more impressive in Devil very lit and Fruit very lit, but good on Backfire for only losing a single player. They've actually had pretty decent anti-ecos. Well, I wouldn't say, other than that second round where we saw Jason R just go nuts after they won pistol, but
Right.
it's going to be 15-9 here.
And Backfire. The dream. Is it happening? We don't bear in mind, if you're just joining us and you don't know these two teams. These two teams last time they met, 2 overtimes, and some of the most spectacular matches I've casted here in Go so far. And Backfire, if they can bring this into overtime, we might see the beginnings of another. But AffNity, I thought they were going to have to double save, but they did get the bomb down both rounds, so they are not going to have to. And they're going to be going for mid control. They have one at the bottom of the A ramp, so he is a threat. That's Jason R. And 4 people at middle for Backfire. Gotta somehow contain this mid threat. They only got one in connector. One's pushing up catwalk, but Davey is in a prime position. Already boosted up on top. I don't even know what to call that. He's on top of something at mid, and it allows him to see cat.
Little roof.
Yeah, it's allowing him to stand. I don't know what it is. It's not clipping, so. But they do take down the first frag, and due to that mid pressure, and now they're going to fall off one of their players. That's the bomb going back towards the ramp, and they're going to be 3 up connector and 2 towards the ramp. Backfire does still have 2 players in the bomb site and 1 in the sandwich. But Double tries to take the round into his own hands and is taken out by Buzza, and that might just be the match. Everybody's peeking for Backfire here. They all want to take the advantage back, but instead they're paying with their lives, and likely their tournament lives, at least in the upper bracket. One more goes down. It's all up to Imsta. And this guy has been struggling a little bit in recent rounds, but he does drop Fox, exchanges about half his life. But look at this. AffNity doesn't even want to plant the bomb. They're going to go try to kill him. They decide that's a bad idea, and they're going to go back to the site. 1-on-3 here. Imsta. Upper bracket life on the line. Can't even get the first one, and that's Davey. Finishes off the match. Not quite.